More on how the president is reacting to the shooting. Let's bring in NBC News White House correspondent Mike Memoli. Mike, good morning to you. So we know the president was made aware of the shooting yesterday and later spoke out about it from the White House. What was his message to Americans? And do we know yet if he is planning any sort of visit to Illinois?
Yeah, Joe, this epidemic of gun violence really breaking through on what was a very celebratory atmosphere at the White House yesterday. The president hosting military families, as well as for the first time since taking off his White House staff and their families as well. The president gave remarks, formal remarks, in which he talked constantly about this idea of the United States engaged in that battle for the soul of America. Talked about how despite all the progress we've made at a country, there's also forces pulling us backwards. And this came up in the context of gun violence as well. Let's listen to part of what the president had to say.
Before I left for Europe, I signed a law, the first real gun safety law in 30 years. Things will get better still, but not without more hard work together. You all heard what happened. You all heard what happened today. But each day we're reminded there's nothing guaranteed about our democracy. Nothing guaranteed about our way of life. We have to fight for it, defend it, and earn it by voting.
You hear there the president.
All right, guys, welcome to the show. We're going to start the show soon. I got Sos here in the green room, guys. We got a lot to talk about. We're going to talk about Madison, Wisconsin. We're going to talk about Highland Park. We got a lot of stuff going on. What the hell is going on with this gun issue, guys? More on this. Don't touch the dial. We're coming at you, guys.
Broadcasting from the Big Peach of Atlanta, Georgia. A show unfiltered, unscripted, raw. The Patriot Angle Podcast.
Alrighty, guys, welcome to today's show. We got Sos back in the house. Welcome, Sos. Welcome, buddy. It's been like 1,000 years since we've had you on the fucking show, man. How you doing, buddy?
Oh man, it's like one of these days. You know, I came back home and I said, okay, I'm gonna do a whole bunch of things. And what happened was I ended up just sleeping the whole afternoon, which was an accident. That's how weird down I am.
Yeah.
So, on top of it, I mean, it's like, I did watch a little quick interview on the whole judges thing. Did you know that he was going to come to? He was in Madison, Wisconsin when he got arrested. The Highland Park shooter.
I seen a little bit of it. Yeah, Fox 5 Atlanta here posted a little bit of the footage of that where he actually traveled. Right, he traveled from Highland Park, Sos, over to Madison, and Madison, like you said, this guy, guys, he resides in Madison, Sos here. So, Sos, I mean, what's going on with your little community there? I mean, you know, I thought it was a peaceful community, you know?
Well, I thought so too, but I guess we got some dandies in our city. And apparently he was like upset about how, you know, the whole Roe versus Wade thing. And the odd thing is that even what surprised me is with all the heavy gun like laws we have, he still somehow got like an AR-15 and had over 235 rounds of ammunition. You know, that's the thing that I don't really understand is that what seems to be the bigger problem and where is in this whole thing, you know, because it's clearly it's clearly our mayor's fault. And you're seeing what, you know, that Bible metaphor, you reap what you sow. We're seeing what we're sowing, and our leaders are too. You know, when you have like more shootings and you blame us as Americans, and we're already strict enough, you know, it shows you whose fault it is.
Yeah, it shows you. It shows you. You know, this is what you get, Sos, when you elect bad leadership in this country. Gun violence after gun violence. But let me retract that statement. We're always going to have gun violence, right? No matter what state, what city you live in. Sos, I don't think it's a gun issue. I think it's a mental health issue.
Health issue.
Clearly, this guy was a little the bolts upstairs were a little loose upstairs. I seen footage of him. He was a little, mentally disturbed. Fox 5 said that he had some tattoos on his arms. He was trying to cover, so, he didn't stand out. He actually dressed himself as a woman, so he was a little, like I said, the screws were a little loose upstairs. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, and see, the problem is, Michael, what seems to be, I mean, this is like one case after another. So what do we do about it, though? We can't have, like, for instance, Highland Park, what happened in Buffalo, what happened in all these other areas that have been affected by mass shootings. I mean, the theme seems is like it's a mental health issue. So why aren't we doing anything about it? Like, why isn't the president and his admin putting doing like a mental health advocacy, or even mental health awareness month, and helping those people instead of having them live in these tent cities across America and giving them heroin and then just allowing them to do whatever they want.
Well, Sos, here's the thing, right? I got to get the highlight here real quick. Here's the thing, Sos. Like what we have right now is a severe case of mental illness, and it's going to get worse and worse and worse. They want to ban fucking AR-15s. They want to ban fucking pistols. They want to ban shotguns. Hell, they want to go down to the fucking bow and arrow, for Christ's sakes. It's not a banning issue. Ban the sales to mental illness. And I think that's what's going to clear it up, Sos. You know what I mean?
Oh, I couldn't agree 100% more.
Yeah.
And what happens? Okay, the other question is, what happens if these are actually staged? Somebody pays them out and says, "Hey, I'll give you this certain amount and I'll give you the ammunition if you do this for us." What do you think about that? It's like a government inside job.
Wait, say that one more time, Sos. If you give the ammunition.
So what happens if it's actually a government inside job to push your punishing on the people? What happens if they were to give money to the bad people and the guns and state, "Hey, we'll give you this much, and then this is what has to happen"?
I don't know. Does it solve anything? I mean,
it solves their agenda, though, doesn't it?
It does. But does it solve anything? Does it go to that caliber? I mean, I'm getting a little heated, Sos, as you can see. This is a touching subject. I mean, Christ. I mean, we're seeing more, and I'm going to get unfiltered, guys. You might want to put the kids to sleep or something on this show. But we're seeing more. Yeah, we're seeing more fucking violence in this country ever before, and it's going to get worse. Highland Park, now little town in Wisconsin called Madison. I looked it up, guys. It looks beautiful on a YouTube tutorial video of a touring video where you want to take your family to Madison, Wisconsin and see the beautiful scenery. You can't see that, Sos, when you have a nut job going down the fucking block committing mass murder. It's terrible.
And here's the thing. I was in Madison a couple of weeks ago and stuff. Well, the problem is that you can't go walking by yourself anymore. Like, for instance, there was like a shooting right by there was a shooting, and the people are like, it was in Brighton at this point. It was on the east side town of Mall. It was like the east side of Madison. So you get off of I-39 and you just drive, and it's a straight shot about 5 miles straight to the Capitol. Heading back, and there was a big traffic diversion. Well, and then we got through it after about 20 minutes, and you know what was? It was a guy just shot another guy that was just walking down the street. So what seems to be the problem? And the police officers are just going on their merry way. Another instance, I was coming in from the airport, so I live by, like, I go through the airport a lot and stuff. And this guy blew out the car's window, and he just left. Like, he literally just left. And I'm like, is somebody gonna call the police or what?
Yeah, where the hell was the cops? Where the hell were they?
It was county sheriff, so they had to wait. It was a response time. You know, that's what you get.
Time, yeah.
That's what you get for not having city police. Well, you have equality.
You know, Sos, you almost want to get on your cell phone and talk to the actual 911 operator and say, today is Thursday, July 6th. I'm taking your response time at this hour is close to 35 to 45 minutes of a response time, correct? I mean, literally. I mean,
yeah. Well, it reminds me of the olden days when if you ever watch any cowboy movies and stuff, the response time took so long they had to like wait about a day for the sheriff to even get out there. So like by everybody was dead and even the doctors and stuff. I feel like I'm already in the old western cowboy movie where
the old western, you know, like.
Yep.
Exactly. The sheriff is taking forever to get there. The crows are feasted on the carcass already on the side of the dirt road. I mean, literally, we're going back to the wild, wild west of colonial
Madison.
America here. You know,
Madison.
Crazy shit. I got some sound clips here, Sos. I'm gonna plug in here. In because if you did pay attention, folks, to the intro here of the video, now Biden and Sos, feel free to comment and come in here on this if you want. Biden is now urging, folks, guys, that he's urging Americans to vote to combat gun violence after this past weekend. And then, of course, in Highland Park, and then now in a connection of Madison, Wisconsin. He wants to combat gun violence. Why doesn't he combat mental illness? Why is that not an issue? It's plain and simple, Sos. Plain and simple. Why is he not combating the mental illness? That is the real issue of America right now. We have mental illness is the biggest crisis right now in America. Biggest.
It's an epidemic, actually.
It's terrible.
So
it's really bad.
It is, and I just don't really understand. Well, and the whole thing is that. Oh, and did you also notice that the January 6th committee is already going to July? Do you see that after the first 2 weeks, you see we're going down the path now?
Yeah, I did see that. Yeah.
What's next? It's going to go into July, and then it's going to go into August, and it's going to go all the way up to the election, and that's what they're going to say. Vote to save democracy. That's their theme. If you don't like democracy, you're unpatriotic, and that's their push. That's why I feel like pushing on it. For example,
Sos, we're not a country of democracy. We're a country of constitutional rights. Exactly. Yep. Bingo is his name-o. We are not a democracy, folks. The radical left wants to push us as a democracy, but we're not a democracy. We are a constitutional republic. Yeah.
And see, I don't get why your guess is good as mine on my end. And I don't know if you want to put up a special op-ed that I put in the paper in response. In response of what's been going on and stuff. And
let's do that. Let's do that. We're going to take off this thing here so the viewers can see. One clip here Sos put in. I believe this was the second. Let's put the first one in. Is that the first? This one's the first one. Here we go. Letters to the editor. Go ahead, Sos. Comment. This is your piece, man. So go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna. So can you put in the go back? Because So I want to reread the first one. So go back.
So this one right here, correct?
Okay. So it says. So I said, I'm writing to you as a podcaster of Your God Loves You, and I'll meet at the finish line. So the overall thing of that paper was talking about how messed up we are as a country and how there's so much division and that you can't go like next door neighbor without them going at your throat and calling you a witch, like a witch hunter or something like that, or call you a tinfoil hat person. So
Yeah.
I pretty much talked and I said, okay, so what I thought to be funny was, what I seemed to be funny was that back in the 60s, you had your Democrats and Republicans. At the end of the day, they would sit at the round table and discuss the issues pertaining to this country and find the middle ground. There's no such thing as a middle ground anymore. And it's interesting because later, and I've gotten some huge heat from it, stating that, well, there is a middle ground, and that's the January 6th committee. That's where both Republicans and Democrats sit at the round table. And I said, no, that is not it.
Right.
We haven't accomplished anything. And I've gotten a lot of heat from it, from both sides actually. And with the whole and it was interesting because well, I thought you are a podcaster, and I thought it's something would be put in the paper. It'd be about God and be about this other thing. So I'm like, well, no. At the same time, it's not. You gotta, as a public influence, you gotta also weigh in on other issues, not just one issue pertaining to what you're specified in.
Yeah. So we're gonna fast forward to the next clip here, the next paper here that was part of it. Letters to the editor. Go ahead, Sos. Comment as you go, because I'm gonna give you the floor, man. This is your piece right here. So.
And so this second part of it was I was talking about how I compared America to Korea, Russia. As you can see, knowing that we are no different than Russia, China, and North Korea, they could care less about their citizens. What are we seeing? Gun violence. We're seeing all these certain things, lack of mental health awareness, and all these. And so that's the plum. And so as long as people are divided, they can do whatever they please, which is what they're doing right now. And the whole thing is that the second part of this paper, or the letter, was that if we don't really hold our politicians accountable, either at the local level even and at our state level, we will lose this country. And I love that end part of it, where I'm going to read that end. So after all, okay, I'll pull it up. So that's what let's see. What I loved about that was, after all that, okay, so after all, if we are kept divided, we will lose our freedom and country. Then you will have the responsibility, your kids, how we used to be the land of the free and the land of opportunities. Man, I would not want to be in that, would you?
No, not at all. Not at all.
And we're almost.
Almost. We're there, Sos.
We are there. Yeah, we are.
Yeah,
I'm
we're
trying
there.
to be a little optimistic, okay?
We're trying, folks. We're trying to be, like you said, we're trying to be a little, but we're there. We're there, folks. I mean, plain and simple.
Hate to say
you want to see third world? You want to see socialism? You want to see communism at its core? Folks, we're there. We're literally there.
Yep. Go to Madison. Get a little taste of it in California. You'll see it.
Yeah. So what's this tweet here? I see a tweet coming out that Sos was so generous to send me over earlier today. This tweet here from President Biden, folks. Check this out. President Biden at POTUS, right? And I'll read everything, right? United States government.
Oh, please do. I love this.
Right? He's a government official? I want to make sure he's a government official. He's not just a puppet.
Of the nursing home.
We know that. Yeah, exactly, Sos. Yeah, exactly. Now, this is what the president wrote, folks, on this tweet here. My message to companies running gas stations and setting prices at the pump is simple. This is a time of war and global peril. Bring down the price you are charging at the pump to reflect the costs you're paying for the product, and do it now. Okay. Check this out, Sos. Check this out, ladies and gentlemen. The U.S. Oil and Gas Association at US_OGA writes this in response to the president. Working on it, Mr. President. In the meantime, have a happy 4th, and please make sure that the White House intern who posted this tweet registers for the InCon 101 for the fall semester. Oh, so he just gave a hint that the president didn't really put this tweet out. It was a White House intern. Oh.
Isn't that funny? That's a comedy right there.
Hysterical. Hysterical. It's a laughing matter. You know, do we have this this meme here? Yeah, let's post it up, guys. This is Delusional Joe, as he's probably reading this for the first time after seeing this. Who? I'm telling you, folks. We are definitely losing our freedoms in 2024. It's a nightmare. It really is, guys. It's terrible. Terrible. I want to plug in this clip here. Sos, check this clip out. What we were talking about in reference to some of what we're talking about on tonight's show last night with Jimmy the Rant. Check this out.
You know, another ban on him being able to run. They know that he has a huge backing and a huge following, and I think we've seen that the last couple of years. You know, what other president do you know has been out of office and people are still riding around fucking waving flags from and doing all types of things, you know? So I think they understand that his presence is huge in a lot of different communities, and him running puts a wrench in their plans to kind of take over and make it blue again. So they're a little worried.
You never know.
And you know
go ahead, Jim.
And as far as a politician, he does not play by the rules because he wasn't a politician before. He had money before, and career politicians, he makes them nervous. I'm talking about.
All right, guys, what we're talking about, in the end, you know what we're getting there. We're talking about Trump. For those who tuned into last night's show, we were on the Joe Rogan segment of Joe Rogan saying that he refuses to host Donald Trump on the Joe Rogan Experience podcast. Refuses it. It's not about money. It's not about popularity. It's not about ratings. He just doesn't like the man. I thought Joe Rogan was more conservative. Found out from Jimmy the Rant, gave a little inside knowledge of Joe Rogan that Joe Rogan is actually more of a moderate, was never a conservative to begin with. So, newsflash to us, I guess.
Well, and here's the whole thing.
You know?
Is that he allowed Elon Musk to be on his show multiple times.
Yeah. But it was all backlogged, Sos. They took it off. If you look at it, they take all the Elon Musk. They're actually squashing all of Alex Jones. They're in the process of doing it. Alex Jones is going to cease to exist on the Joe Rogan Experience. This is what Joe Rogan went from. You know, he went from a small guy, a former UFC affiliate, to now pretty much a puppet. He does what the network tells him to do. You know what I mean? It's terrible. Terrible.
And like Spotify. So Spotify owns him by his strings. Like a whatever. Yeah, like a puppet. And it's like Monkey Do. So of course he's going to have all these. I think what happened is that what got him to be really big and stuff was his take on the COVID-19 vaccine. You know, got him like really big.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Big time. Sos, I want to get into this segment here more on Madison. Like, what's going on with Madison over there? Are they going to develop the story a little bit more? I mean, you guys might have more news coverage than we do down here in Atlanta. Are you getting any information about Madison with the shooter? You know, what's going on? You know, I just heard earlier today that the defense attorney that was assigned to this guy here is trying to plead the case as an act of insanity or something or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Did you hear any of that?
Yeah. Yep. He's on the courthouse today and stuff, and he pleaded insanity. So what that means is that the court would then he would no longer get a fair trial. He would just get like just a slap on the hand. And in the state of Wisconsin, you completed insanity, and then you're mental health hospital for 6 months, and then you're charged. You're let go.
Let go back into society. He's let go back into society so he could do it all over again.
Yeah, and that's a big difference between Illinois court case or Illinois system. The sad part is, okay, how is it that Wisconsin district attorney knows? Okay, Madison's DA knows the Highland Park shooter. Okay, that's why he doesn't want to. He's advocating for him. How does he know him personally? You know, you look at all these shooters. How did they know all these government officials? Like they bring up like best friends. That's what I'm thinking about how, you know, maybe they were paid on the.
I don't know. I don't know. Like you keep on going into this theory with this undercover, inside job type of thesis of it. It does make sense, Sos. It could be an inside, job, where, it's another distraction point. It's another diversion. Yeah.
Yeah, because why do you think the judge is considering tossing out the case and giving him the insanity plea? Why do you think? Because that's the whole thing, is that the attorneys, like his attorney and stuff, like that was given by the state, he also knows closely. So that is Wisconsin's or Madison's DA. His personal attorney was given to the state or by the, and even the defense that's even the prosecutor knows the person, and so now they're at a pickle because they're thinking about bringing him to Chicago because you have so many people in Madison that know him, that are all high-ranking government officials in the state of Wisconsin that already work in this office. What seems to be there's a major problem between those kids. There's a major problem, and that's why I wouldn't put a pass to it. How can you? And with all the regulations in Wisconsin, okay, get 230 rounds of AR-15 ammunition when we don't have any in any of our stores. How can you get that? And how can you get an AR in Wisconsin anymore? You can't do that anymore unless you built your own.
Through the dark web. They're doing it through the dark web, Sos. Yeah, they're doing it through the dark web. You know what I mean?
Yes. So it's just frustrating. It's like not frustrating. It's just you have to put it. I'm trying to think. Okay, and you look at all the shootings. Okay, it's number 7 and number 4. The fact that the fact that they found him back to Madison, and there was another parade in Madison, Wisconsin, the fact that he had the urge to do another mass shooting or even thought about it. So that should tell you something, And why wasn't? And the other question is, you have to go through a tollway, and you have to stop at a tollway to pay in order to continue on. It doesn't matter if you even have an IPS anymore. Why wasn't he stopped in the first place? And why weren't there like police officers already, like once that already happened in Chicago? Why weren't they already on his tail end, already chasing him down? Why long? I mean, well, it's also part of Mary Lightfoot's issue too. Her wonderful political.
I want to
push.
I want to
on her.
I want to plug here. Yeah, I want to plug this clip in here. You're gonna understand this here.
Breaking news from Stu.
I'm the attorney.
Good morning. Good morning to you. I'm Mugo Dikwe. This is some news from the CBS 2 News. The Highland Park 4th of July parade just made court appearance. Bobby Cremo is charged with 7 counts of murder.
Let's go right to the press conference with Lake County State's attorney.
Murder. Counts alleging the intentional killing of 7 individuals. Based on the information that the investigation has produced so far, the judge found that the evidence was at such a level that he could be held without bond. Also, because the fact that it was a mandatory life sentence. Additional details were developed during that bond hearing. I know there was a pool report there for that. I can certainly answer some additional questions about that. I want to continue to emphasize that this is an ongoing and active investigation with all of our partners. If anyone has any surveillance footage whatsoever of the July 4th, I urge them to contact the Highland Park Police Department. Deputy Chief Covelli probably has the best phone number for that. I can take a few questions.
Sure. Can you tell us, there's been this question about how the shooter obtained these weapons, this question about maybe the father sponsoring this license even after those initial law enforcement. Are you looking at any potential criminal charges with other family members?
I don't want to comment on that. I don't want to answer that question right now in terms of what our work continues to be to look at the information and evidence in this case.
Is there precedent to charge a family member who has signed off on a FOID application for someone who's under 21? Is there precedent for that?
That is not something that I have done in my administration. It is something we can get back to you on that question in terms of whether that asked. I know there's another state in Michigan, totally different set of facts. We can get back to you on that, but that's not something I have personally done while I've been state attorney. Well, his statement was voluntary. He's questioned in the Highland Park. He was attorneys went into details about what he had done. He admitted to what he had done.
Why?
Details of what was being knives, whether anything was being said about firearms. I have not seen that individual police report yet from 2019.
Couple more. He expressed to the FBI.
He was caught on 41. Where was he at in Wisconsin?
He was in Madison, Wisconsin. No.
And
no indication.
What event was it that he was conflating?
There was some event, celebration.
All right, so basically, all right, folks. Basically, what's going on right now is they have a basically, if I have this correct, Sos, it's basically like a cold case scenario right now. It flip flops back from Madison, Wisconsin, to Highland Park, Illinois, right? And there's connection between Illinois and Wisconsin, connection between Madison and Highland Park. Why don't they look at the case severely? They're going back to hearings, Sos, if you heard correctly, folks, here on the show, going back to 2019. Look at the fucking rap sheet and look at the damn case. How hard is that to figure that out? How hard is it to figure it out? I mean, I don't know. Sos, what's your thoughts, pal? Yeah. Sos, you there, buddy? Anyways, I think Sos is having some technical difficulties here. We're waiting on Sos to... You there, buddy? Anyways, so, I don't know, folks. Here's the thing. I need to see the clues and evidence to all of this. Where the hell is surveillance cameras? Where the hell is the correct evidence on all of this? Where is it? I mean, if anybody, the cop is like, oh, if anybody hears of more evidence, please bring it to our department and this and that. Christ, they have surveillance. They have cell phone videos. Where the hell is it at? Come on, guys. Do your job, right? Ay. So, I don't know. What's going on with this crap? I'm telling you. The thing is, at the end of the day, you're going to have police officers that just literally, they can't get their acts together. They have to look at something. They have to make sure that everything is nicely neat and this and that. But who's to say, guys? Who is to say? Guys, I got a little bit more here on the show. Don't want to go anywhere. We'll be right back after these short words. Don't go anywhere, guys.
I'm Eric Greitens, Navy SEAL, and today we're going rhino hunting. The rhino feeds on corruption and is marked by the stripes of cowardice. Join the MAGA crew. Get a rhino hunting permit. There's no bagging limit, no tagging limit, and it doesn't expire until we save our country.
I tell you what, that's a damn good infomercial. And right on timing, too, of what we're talking about. Right on timing. I mean, you can't say it anymore. But, go ahead, Sos. I think you had a comment here, buddy.
Oh, what's the
Sos,
whole
you there, pal? Yeah, go ahead, bud.
Yep. Can you?
Okay. Yeah, I can hear you. Go ahead.
If people actually did their work and stuff, and if they actually looked into what we got recently passed, and you can't charge the father with any criminality because prior to, I think, June 1st, you cannot buy a firearm if you're 18 and old, like 21 or younger. But the firearm way before June 1st, and so you can't charge, and that's stupidity that everyone would ask that, and then CNN has. And you have all these news agencies saying, hey, charge the father for giving him the AR-15. Well, no, you can't do that.
Well, the father has to be charged without a doubt, Sash. Yeah, you're right. The father has to be charged without a doubt. What for?
What for, though?
He's given access to, but didn't he give access like you just said? Yeah.
Well, okay, so I should clarify. So the problem is that then and all these people are asking reporters and asking Illinois and state of Wisconsin to charge for giving him the AR-15 access, okay, and supplying him with ammunition, even supplying him with the AR-15. The catch, and here's a caveat. The kid already got the AR-15 when he turned 18 a couple of years ago, or when he turned 18, couple way before June 1st, when the bill that was it cannot buy a firearm if you're 18 to 21, you can't buy a firearm in between any of them.
Right, but the bill, but this went back to 2019, Sos. Yeah, this went back to 2019. So, was the bill in place by 2019, or? Yeah.
No, the bill was the bill was the most recent bill, the gun violence bill, passed in the House and passed through the Senate, and Joe Biden made a big ordeal, like saying, "Hey, this is the way to combat gun violence." He made that bill, and if you read the bill very closely, it was going to be effective. It was already passed in May, but it was going to be effective on 1st of 2022 at 12:30 at 12 in the morning. Okay. You didn't know that, did you?
All right, so there's. Sos, I'm trying to, play catch up with this because it's scary. It really is. I don't know. I mean, somebody needs to be blamed for this, Sos. Yeah, I know. I know. But somebody needs. Yeah, Sos. Somebody needs to be charged here. Somebody needs to be responsible. There shouldn't be another slap on the wrist. Somebody committed murder, mass murder, and somebody needs to be charged.
Well, and here's the whole thing, okay? Illinois' life sentence is only 20 years.
Okay.
Okay. So you're slapping somebody with 20 years? That's nothing in this day and age. Why would you slap with 20 years? You got to slap them with 7 counts, which is 140 years, at minimum 140 years, on top of intent and like possessions and all that. So he's got to be charged 140 years, not 20 years. Like, that's nothing in this day and age. I can fly by really quick.
That's almost like an armed robbery charge or something. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
But,
and that's,
140 years, Sos. I mean, I don't know. Would you rather give somebody 140 years, or would you rather invoke the death penalty?
Death sentence? Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. My whole thing is that here's my whole thing of it. Okay, if you do this kind of travesty, you like if you kill like anybody, you at least you better here's what I like to see. Okay, if you decide somebody's life, you better have a good darn reason for doing so. That's number one. Number two, okay, if you just do it for stupid, and if you do it like this kind of whole thing, like you're off your meds and stuff, and because you're all this, and say, oh, whoops, I didn't take my medication today. That's not going to fly. You just gotta. Yeah. I hate to say it, but give them the lethal injection. That's the best option. Then they won't do it again. It's easier on our tax burden. It'll be easy. It's easy on our tax.
Yeah, I mean, because would you exactly, Sos? Would you rather have somebody, taxpayers pay, 140 years for this guy getting fed every day in prison? Clothed, showered, I mean, would you rather have a taxpayer pay into the system like that? I mean, guys, I'm not trying to be harsh on this, but, when somebody commits mass murder like that, a shooting, that's domestic terrorism, Sos. I mean, hey, whether you're mentally insane or you're sane, somebody has a conscience. About the same way. Maybe not almost the same way, but you have a conscience. You're thinking, right? That man, that boy, whatever, thought to pick up a gun and shoot people.
Well, not only that, but pick up a gun, had the thought and had the consciousness to drive all to Highland Park in Chicago, okay? And then drive all the way back to Madison to even do another kind of a shooting act. So it was very well planned. That's where it's a messed up part. It was very well planned, and you cannot play sanity plea because, oh, whoops, I forgot to take my medication. No, he was very capable, and he had all of his. He thought about it.
Yeah, it's not a sanity. Yeah, they can't plead a sanity. Sos, you make a great point here on the show. He's driving from one state, folks, to another state. He thought about it. He planned it out. He put it out in his little notebook or something. He did something. He thought about it. He planned it out. I can understand if he was like, just, hey, I want to take a ride today. And then all of a sudden the bolts went loose and he just fucking killed everybody. That's different. That could be maybe a little different in the case. But the guy thought about it and planned it out. And you know what I mean? Exactly.
Yeah, and he had on his phone and stuff. And isn't it fun? You know where the phone was found? The phone was found in Middleton, Wisconsin, which is in Madison, Wisconsin. It's one of the suburbs.
Yeah, they said that. There was. Yep.
Yeah, and you're telling me. Oh, and he said that he dropped his phone on accident. No, he had his phone. He had his phone prior to the shooting, and he had his phone when he got in Milwaukee or in Madison, Wisconsin. This was a very well orchestrated plan. Now, like in everything, okay, if you do something wrong, okay, you get fired. You are accountable for your action. And the whole thing is that even we see this in our criminal justice. There is no accountability whatsoever for any bad people that do bad violence upon anyone. There is no accountability. This is what the Biden administration just absolutely loves, and this is how he loves saying, oh, you know what? As long as we're divided over this gun issue, we'll hold anyone accountable, keep this issue going, then we can get what we want. And that's where I put in the op-ed, and that's where it's all the way back to the op-ed piece.
Yeah. Yeah, they're going to make it a big piece about it. You go about the cell phone here. We're going to close it out here in about a minute or two. But here's the thing, Sos. They go back to the cell phone, right? If they want to look at the cell phone, look at the surveillance tapes. I'm sure there's stores, there's fucking telephone poles. Look at the damn surveillance.
Yeah, and well, not only that, but look at the iPasses. In the state of Wisconsin, you have not only you have cameras all over the interstate. All right, somebody can get a ticket in Madison, Wisconsin. All right, and if they go like 80 miles an hour, they got a ticket in their mail because they've already on highway already took a picture of their license plates, already sending them a ticket. So you're telling me that there is no cameras at work whatsoever, and there's no surveillance? Why does it remind me of the subway shooting that happened too? Oh, whoops! There are only 3 cameras working that day. No, I'm sorry.
You know, Sos, you know what I call on that? I call it total bullshit. Bullshit.
I couldn't agree more.
There is surveillance. There's surveillance. There's images. Like you say, they take pictures of your camera when you go through these toll systems. They take pictures of everything. They can zoom up. Like they could zoom up on you and look at that image and say, oh, there he is. There's the cell phone. There he is walking through that store. He's walking. He dropped his cell phone. Boom. Case dismissed. Shit, I should be the next Inspector Gadget or something. I mean, you know, this is just, you know what it is, Sos? It's a media viewpoint.
Well, and not only that, but you're telling me that those cameras didn't work? Well, those highway cameras didn't work? Well, I went through a tollway on accident. The camera took of what I was wearing for my shirt, and they forgot, like, they took a picture, and I had, like, this kind of a facial look and stuff. They took the whole thing. So they took a picture of me inside the front of the car and back of the car. I'm like, hey, I remember that accident. So you're telling me that, I'm sorry, that's why I call it, like what you said, complete BS on this whole thing.
Yeah.
This issue.
It's Sos, you know what it is? It comes down to, you know, you could look at it as a media narrative, or you could look at it as like a political narrative. You know, they're gonna throw it around a little bit. They're gonna throw the pieces around. They're gonna give you what they want you to hear, and then that's that. This story is gonna be talked about on social media and media for the next possibly week or two until something else comes up. That's what our country is becoming. Fucking talking points.
Or until the new episode of Travesty January 6th comes out. Who knows?
Yeah. Sos, I do want to give you the patience here for dealing with me tonight. I mean, I'm a little hysterical tonight because I'm a little heated up because this shit needs to stop. It does.
I feel like I'm making you think. So bad because I'm making you think.
You know, you're making me think, but you're also you did put a good damn topic on tonight's show, a good damn topic, and I do applaud you for that. You know,
Yeah.
So you know,
And then,
Sos,
hey,
it's been an honor, buddy. Yeah.
Yep. And here's the whole thing. Why not do a really good topic to do like a welcome back and I haven't seen you in a bit topic? Say, hey, I still got the old sauce back. I sauced it up a little bit. Sauce in your life to make you think. It's a sauce.
Well,
thing.
yeah.
Think sauce.
Yeah, you know, we were missing you on the show. Jimmy Durant was asking about you. You know, where the hell is Sauce? You know, we got to, send a rescue mission to find out where the hell he's at. You know, we were actually like, questioning. You know, I said, well, he's busy. He's got his podcast. You know, he's a heavy contributor in his community there in Wisconsin. So he gets busy. You know, I understand it. I get it. So.
I get way too busy, and that's the problem. Is, well, it's looking like this. So, for instance, my day starts at 4:03 in the morning, and it doesn't end until like 11 o'clock at night. And so that's like so frustrating because I don't even have time to do my own podcast. So it's so frustrating because I can't get anything what I wanted to get done. But it's only until August 18th, so then we'll be good. It's only until August 18th.
I was gonna ask you, Sos, how's your summer series ending? I mean, is it closing up almost, or you're just about in the middle of it?
No, I haven't. I've only done one episode, and I haven't gotten any. Like, I've been so busy, and because of my most recent political thing, people have dropped off and stuff. They don't want to be part of it whatsoever.
Well, guess what? You got your next guest. I'll be on your show, and I'll give you my testimony of how I came from the Lower East Side of Manhattan, New Jersey area to where I'm at now. I'll give you my testimony on your show. Count me on your next show. We'll have to pencil that in.
All righty. So. Hey, well, we still have to get like a flight. We still have to work on the flight on our way back or on our something like that.
Yeah.
So we got till August 1st.
I got you, Sos. I'm not gonna forget about you. You know, because we're gonna.
No.
Oh man, we're gonna have a hell of a show. Been drinking some smoothies here. I'm just about out, guys. So you know, gotta love the smoothies. They're good for you. You know, damn good for you.
A lot of vitamins. All righty. Well, I'm gonna let you guys go. May the Lord bless you and keep you.
Yeah, and remember, guys, you know, you can hear Sos on his podcast. Remember, God loves you, and I'll meet you at the finish line, available on Spotify and anywhere you hear a podcast. Thank you very much, guys, and we'll see you on the next one.